Back when I was a kid, life was going swell. Till something happened. Blew everything to hell. That night my daddy stumbled in, all pale and weak. Said a woman up the block just gave birth to a geek. Mom said, sell it to the circus. What the heck? Dad said, nope, this one's a pencil neck. And if there's one thing lower than a sideshow freak, it's a gritty, scum-sucking pencil neck geek. You see, if you take a pencil that won't hold lead, looks like a pipe cleaner attached to a head, add a buggy-whip body with a brain that leaks, you got yourself a grit-eating pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek, grit-eating freak, scum-sucking pea-head with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-gut, losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek. Soon the geeks were popping up all over town. You couldn't hardly sneeze without knocking one down. After a nice juicy steak, if you need a toothpick, just reach for a geek. They'll do the trick. One day we cut one up for fish bait. Learned our lesson just a little bit late. Soon as the geek hit the drink, the water turned red. Next day, sure enough, all the fish were dead. Pencil neck geek, grit-eating freak, scum-sucking pea-head with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-gut losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. Most any night, you know where I can be found. Yeah, stomping some geek's head into the ground. So keep the faith, cause in Blassie you can trust. I won't give up till the last geek bites the dust. Pencil neck geek, grit-eating freak, scum-sucking pea-head with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-gut losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. They say these geeks come a dime a dozen. I'm looking for the guy who's supplying the dimes. It's gonna be real hard times for all of these grit-eating, scum-sucking, boot-licking, drop-kicking, gut-grinding, nail-biting, glue-sniffing, scab-picking, butt-scratching, egg-hatching, sleazy, smelly, pepper-bellied, dirty, lousy, rotten, stinking freaks. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek. Pencil neck.
It's time to put on makeup. It's time to dress up right. It's time to get things started.
Hey man, is that Double D? Yeah man, well turn it up man.
Let's just go in and kill all the orcs, right? They're the bad guys, who gives a shit? We just hack and slash and we loot their dead bodies, right? Hack and slash, kill them all, conquer the infidels.
Boy, that campaign sounds like a barrel of fun, doesn't it?
Somebody who's opening a refrigerator and leaning in, right, is the language of a woman. Somebody who's opening the refrigerator and being cut off halfway through that lean is the voice of a mermaid or a siren.
They're utter shits. They're utter shits.
This is not the face of the hobby anymore. And I think there's been mistakes made in years past where people assumed that D&D players were all, white dudes in a basement. Which has been a faulty assumption for a lot of years and gets more and more false every day. And so it's, in my viewpoint, honestly, guys like me can't leave soon enough.
I just had to be born with empathy and a weakness for socialism and femboys.
You gotta put a little hot sauce on the taco, you know what I mean?
We want this dwarf to be the dwarfiest dwarf.
Right.
We want the elf to be the elfiest elf.
and just the dashiest dash of Tabasco.
Their voices need to carry across water.
I'm a creative. It's a huge drain, right? Because fans can be off.
When we got the descriptions, they were very adamant. They were like, try not to make it like a white blonde guy. Like, please, like, we love him, but there's like 500 million of them.
You say white lives matter, they don't. White lives don't matter because white lives aren't a thing.
Lube for their rectal adventures.
Lutherville, Marina Del X, Otisburg. Otisburg. Who's this monster? She's got her own place. Otisburg. It's a little bitty place. Otisburg. Okay, I just wipe it off. That's all. It's a little town. Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3. Great. Great, Sam.
I've got a really big gorge here that I've got to traverse. Your mom has a big gorge.
Did you cry? So much. I went into the house and my wife was like, "What's wrong?" And I just crawled onto her and sobbed.
Oh my God.
Well, ain't the old opening better?
Get away from me, you creepy, crazy fucking Canadian.
On with the show.
Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? I don't know what happened. As you can see, I'm in the second location. No longer trapped in the basement. Not sure. Something went wrong, I think, with the traditional intro. At least on my end. Hopefully it went up okay for you. Doesn't matter. How is everybody doing? Thank you guys for tuning in on such short notice. I actually, those of you that stayed up last night to watch, a great movie, Hawk the Slayer. You knew I was originally just planning to see you guys on Monday when we talked to Greg, but pardon me there. I just saw Wizards of the Coast is having a release announcement. Take that for what it's worth. Oh, Shellback, you're wearing the shirt. Yeah, you summoned me. Well done, sir. Well done. I tell you what, let's watch a little bit right now of this. I don't know if this is live right now, but this was live. It's like a preview.
Who's next?
Hi.
Oh.
Hello. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Mark. My name is Sean.
I think I know you.
Hi, nice to see you.
It will haunt me forever.
It probably will. My name is Sean. I am an aspiring DM, and as aspiring DMs, I'm sure all sit in this space, we've all heard a ton of wonderful advice from you guys, from all our fellow DMs.
Terrible advice at times.
I'm wondering from seasoned DMs, what is a rule or piece of advice that you've heard in the space, on the internet, on Reddit, that you've chosen to intentionally ignore that has made your games better?
I like that this guy's not even a DM yet, and he's already talking about all the rules that he can ignore. Oh, well done. Good Lord. How about you learn just like the rules first? Thank you for the laughing disco, Boxer Joe. Much appreciated, sir. All right, let's see what Matthew has to say.
Do it, heel turn. Pop off.
No. But she's that chick's a little chunkier than I thought. I'm not passing judgment. I'm just saying when you see her on I think it's called Dungeon Masters. I don't know, when you see her, she looks a little thicker. Not saying that's bad.
I mean,
just noting it.
In the space of the moment of players' enjoyment, at a certain point, rules of written means nothing to me. Like
shocking. Absolutely shocking, of course.
Like it's a system and a scaffolding once again to tell these stories, and for the players at the table, you know, I know there's a lot of people that are like the rules must be followed to a T, or else what's the purpose? Mm-hmm. And to a point, I agree, but nothing slows the narrative down faster than having to stop and look through your books to figure out what this corner case rule is when the momentum of the moment everyone's hanging on to the next beat. It kills the flow of the game. And ultimately, when you find the rules, sometimes it doesn't really change much than you would have instinctually gone with.
All right, so he may have the nugget of a point here. The problem is, I have a feeling he does that a lot more than your average person, you know, where, yeah, I have been in those positions where, you know, it's a tense moment and maybe something comes up and you're just kind of like, yeah, let's just go with, you know, this, we'll look it up after, you know, and, you know, this is not setting a precedent, but, you know, things are good right now. Let's just go with it. You know, that may happen once a campaign, you know, once or twice a campaign. I have a feeling it probably happens with these guys quite a bit more often. That would be my guess. Not saying anything, but I'm just, you know, probably a little bit more often. Brian, thank you very much, Brian. $2 New Zealand. WotC mistakes people who watch Critical Role for D&D players. Yeah. Well, I guess they are WotC D&D players, so technically speaking, I guess they're correct.
And also, you know, if a rule in the game says, oh yeah, a player gets disintegrated, they're turned to dust. Yeah. And you're like, well, yeah, they're dead now. They have no way to resurrect outside of like true resurrection. That's done. But if the players at the table feel so mournful and don't want to let go, and the fun at the table is like, we want to try and find a way to bring them back, why not creatively come with a path or a storyline in which they can try and accomplish that, even if the rules say you can't? Like there's, for me, the rules are important until the player's joy is impeded by it.
Yeah.
At which point...
Which is fine, but then you get players, you know, my joy is ruined if I take damage. So instead of your character dying, ruining your joy, now it's like, oh, I got too beaten up. Oh, well, you know, we gotta cater to you, big boy. Look, I think you should always give your players a square deal, you know. If there's ever a 50-50, I will always err on the side of the group because, you know, I don't want to be a prick DM or, you know, a DM who's one of those like, you know, I'm a killer DM and I'm proud of it. No, I'm not like that. And I don't think anybody else should be either. But you're there to enforce the world. You're there to enforce the rules. And I think what it comes down to is the people with integrity realize pretty quick that you're bending everything to make sure nothing happens to them. You know, they get bored and they don't like, it feels bad. Now, a lot of these like Critical Role people, think about it for a minute. Think about it. Are these the kind of people that when you are catering to them, you know, hand and foot 24/7, do you think these are the kind of people that are going to be like, oh no, you know, you can't do that. That's not fair. No, these are the kind of people that are like, you're damn right, you should cater to me. You know, a lot of these folks are supreme narcissists. And so they love pulling the DM strings. And You know, if it makes their character's life easier in the game, so much the better. Now you don't have to, go to the trouble of making a new character.
The rules can take a backseat.
Yes, yes. I guess that kind of feeds into what I think is a piece of advice I've seen online that I don't agree with, which is that, like, as the DM, you have to, I think there's this expectation that you have to be the resource. Whereas, like, I kind of love it when players help you out. I love when there's a player that tells you on the stage at AC Inc. that you're rolling with the wrong dice, or that you're supposed to roll 2 d12s instead of 1.
So just basic enforcement of rules. Yeah, I as a DM, I love that too. When people don't, I don't want to say cheat, but don't break the rules without even maybe knowing it. Yeah, that's awesome.
And I think like it takes so much of the pressure off, because I think it's one of those seats that people are reticent to sit in. Right? Is like, oh, I have to be an expert at this game, and it's like, no, your players can learn to read their spells. So, I'm sorry, that's a hot take, but I think, like, if you have to keep track of all the NPC names and the locations and the story and the initiative order, I think your players can, like, open a tab and tell you what the range on a spell is or how it works. I
agree with her there. Yeah, she got a point there.
They can do some, like, meet you
Now
halfway
go celebrate.
Sometimes.
Go have a cheeseburger.
And I get that, like, I don't think anybody has to be an expert, but I think.
Do you see them thighs?
So, I'm sorry, that's a hot take, but I think, like, if you have to keep track of all the NPC names and the locations and the story and the initiative order, I think your players can, like, open a tab and tell you what the range on a spell is or how it works. I think they can do some, like, meet you halfway sometimes, and I get that, like.
Ooh, baby. THICC, THICC, THICC. Wow. I mean, I gotta say, look, if I was in her position, she's the lead DM. She is the Matt Mercer now, quote unquote, of D&D's version of that, Dungeon Masters. I mean, I know the table hides most of you, but oof. I would go to Slim Fast, go to the Fat Farm.
I don't think anybody has to be an expert, but
Do they
I think
have
that
fat
sort of
farms
burden
anymore?
on the DM to kind of know everything is. I think it's
Send
great
her to
when
the fat
players
farm.
chime in and help and say, "Oh, this is how exhaustion works," and you're using the rules from 5e, and this show is 5.5. I wish that they'd.
Point taken, Aaron. Yes, those quotes are doing a lot of heavy lifting.
I wish that they'd told me that.
Clippy players are great. We call them Clippy from Microsoft Word, the little paper clip.
Yes!
The player at the table, it's like, oh, did you add that bonus from the spell over here? Great, want to check.
I
Did you
love
forget
it.
you have this ability in your class? That
It's
would be really
my
helpful right now.
favorite.
It's so good.
I don't think those players are overbearing at all. And I actually don't like when people act like those players are overbearing. They're really, like, taking the pressure off the DM to facilitate the story, make sure every player is getting their moment, and also know the very specific, like, rules on a sorcerer spell, which is impossible.
As long as it doesn't cross over into guiding other players' strategy.
Backseat gaming?
Yeah, backseat.
Yeah,
that
that's not
does.
fun.
Unfortunately, there is a very fine line in that archetype of player sometimes, and so just.
I will agree with Matthew here too. I have seen that, players who essentially take over another player during combat or another character. What you really should do is this. That's not my favorite when it happens. And then if there's confusion, I'll just start doing the countdown. I need your, as in the character whose turn it is, I need your response in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's one of my big things at the table. If I think somebody's taking too long, I'll count you down.
Gently reminding
I'll chase
that
ya,
boundary
as
also
Mills Lane
doesn't
used
hurt.
to say. I'll chase ya.
Oh yeah, I'm
Also,
sure there's plenty. I'm
don't
not
call
thinking of.
yourself an aspiring DM. The best piece of advice I ever got was to stop calling myself an aspiring writer and call myself a writer. You're a DM. You have the intent. You just haven't gotten the table yet. Don't worry about it. You will.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm an astronaut. I have the intent. I just haven't gotten into space yet, But I'm an astronaut. These people. And somebody's right. Yeah, the Universal Knight, she is yapping way too much. Know your place. I think she sees herself as the equal. And let's not pretend in this ecosystem that she's aspiring to lose weight. Thank you, Osiris. Let's not pretend in this ecosystem that she is even close to being an equal with Matt Mercer. So they have to say these kind of things. It's the way to deal with imposter syndrome, I think. Oh, I'm every bit as good a DM as Matt, Mercer, because I'm a DM and a big company threw me a bone and now I do live plays too. All right, really? I don't know about that.
Hi. So I am a DM, and I find it difficult sometimes to walk the line between improv and consistency in my stories. What advice would you have to be able to write a consistent story in terms of prep, but then also listening to the characters as they want to make fun and silly decisions, kind of keeping your story within the bounds of the world that you've created?
Now, I don't know what their answer is going to be. I know what my answer would be. She's telling you she is writing a story. I need consistency. We need consistency in our stories. I don't want any of that improvisation getting in the way. I don't want to have to listen to anybody. So this is a frustrated, we'll call her a writer, according to our friend here on the right. But I know what their answer should be. It should be, you shouldn't be writing a story to that extent. You should have a couple of elements. You may have a idea of where things are going. You may guess where things are going, but you can't assume that they're going to go there, because we all know what happens when you assume. You make an ass out of you and me. Paladin Forge, DEI hire for $1.99. Thank you. Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much obvious these days, isn't it? Must make him so mad now, too, that everybody knows. Let's see what they say.
Is the one part communication? If you are putting in a lot of effort into a story that you feel maybe the players aren't quite engaging with in the way, you can say hey guys, just as a note, I am putting a lot of effort into this and I really want this to be either this arc or these themes here to be fairly serious, still be silly, but also be present. And
the world's best DM, quote unquote, giving you the worst DM advice possible. Hey guys, come on. You're not playing ball. Oh my God. Come on. Get on the railroad. Get on the choo-choo. And pretend to like my story.
And, be appreciative of the time I'm putting into this, just as I'm appreciating the ways that you're engaging with the story. So that sort of communication is healthy.
I see that shark.
There's, for so many years,
painted fingernails.
So many years in the tabletop space, it was rare to see that sort of open communication at the table. It was just kind of assumed roles. People showed up and played the game, then went home. It's so much better now than it used to be, and it will continue to be better as we go. But that sort of open communication, I think, is very helpful. Music. The players.
So, here's our solution. Guilt your players into getting on your railroad and then play music. Yeah. Best DM in the world. Love those kooky voices. Did you do your spoons today, Matt? Did you wear your power shawl?
It's hard for them to joke around too much when all of a sudden you put on a track that is very ominous. That I've literally used that trick at home games for many years, where like if I really wanted to set a mood with the right kind of music, people click in subconsciously. So that was a fun little hack.
Yeah, I think it's also one.
Dino, I think 6 o'clock is Wizards D&D's big announcement, so that's ostensibly what we're going to be watching. But this is a little primer. This was a little Q&A they were doing beforehand. So we'll warm everybody up with this. You're getting banger DM advice, guys. Matt Coercer. I like that, Toby. I like it. I don't know if I can find your drop here. I don't know if I transferred it over. As you can tell, we're on EV Mux. But yes, sadly, no, I don't think I have the Toby drop. I'll just say it. Your name is Toby.
One of those things, like, you kind of got to go with the flow, I feel like. Just like any episode of TV, when you're telling an improvised story, some days are going to be more dramatic, some days are going to be more silly. And I think it's okay, because I think you need peaks and valleys. I think if you're kind of sort of dour and sad all the time, then it's hard to, like, you kind of lose the effect. You know, I think it's okay for things to get a little silly and off the rails, because then when you bring it back, it's like it hits more.
Yeah, you have to break the tension.
Yeah. That tension break is like such a big part of horror, which is one of my favorite genres, and I think one of yours too, based off of Age of Umbra. But yeah, having a weirdo bat in the mix kind of does make the horror of the world, it punctuates it. And I think it's okay to have some punctuations. And there's ways, I think, like, if there is something you're trying really hard to do and you feel like your table can't get the sillies out, it might behoove you to, like, just save it for another session. Because I've found that fighting the energy at the
Was she even answering the question? I think the question was more of a generic, like, hey, what if they're just not buying into it? And she's like, well, what if everybody just gets silly Billy? Okay. I don't think that was the question, but I was originally going to say maybe she's on the right track, because she said just go with it, which, you know, is a little bit more of the right answer. Amino Jacko for 5. What's up? Been doing family stuff all month. Missed you guys. We missed you too, my friend. Glad you could join us here. Bit of an impromptu stream as we await with bated breath the Wizards of the Coast announcement.
table is sometimes an uphill battle.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
A table has moods, just like we do as people. And sometimes, you know, they come to the table and
She moves that microphone really weirdly, I must say.
something crazy is
Flailing it
happening with the
around.
character's backstory, and the mood is a little more serious. And sometimes they come to the table and they've got the giggles, and that's where you kind of gently take the supervillain monologue and slide it to the bottom of your notes and pull something else to the top.
Yeah, that's the key. Like the flexibility in being open to whatever energy the players are bringing to the table is huge, because the players aren't just characters. They're human beings with their whole lives, their whole day before you played, their whole week or month. Who knows what like emotional challenges they're going through or what stresses they're dealing with in their life. When they come to that table, sometimes they need the outlet to be a little ridiculous as a form of like communal therapy. And so being open to that, as you were saying, and just taking those moments. I think that was
Communal
like a great
therapy.
nugget of advice to be like, just take those moments and save them for later.
Yeah.
Let them blow off some steam.
Yeah, I had a player that I felt like was kind of getting a little stir crazy because we had a lot of like initiative combat in a session, and she ended up having the time of her life because I improvised the rules to a slap fighting tournament. Like an all-women slap fighting tournament, because I'd seen a reel on it where like women were just slapping the crap out of each other.
It's crazy in
It's
Russia.
like a sport.
It gets crazy in
Yeah.
Russia. Like that's,
And now
it's not good.
D&D slap fight. She literally ended the session and said, that was my favorite game of D&D I've ever played in my whole life. because she just had to get it out, you know? And honestly, it helped because from there was like a moment where everyone locked in, but they got to have this like really fun, zany moment of an improvised slap fight. So you could try that.
Slap fight.
What are we saying here? Roy Loveday, there's some sugar in his tank. You talking about Matt Mercer? Got sugar in his shoes? Is that what we're saying?
Next question. Oh, goodness.
Time.
That went so fast.
It's gone so quickly.
2 more hours.
Hi, guys. Recovering Forever DM here.
Hey.
Ran a 7-year campaign from 0 to 20, set in a virtual MMO. And I just want to ask you, as someone who's DM then goes into a campaign, because one of my players invited me to one of their friends' campaigns, do you ever find yourself kind of enforcing like a DM hazing a little bit? Like you're trying to share the frustrations you dealt with in the previous campaign with your new one? Because
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have two.
No clue.
I have 2 players I have to play around. One's literally a nuclear engineer, and the other's a programmer for the military, and they created a demon core in my game, completely within the rules. When I joined the new campaign, my wild magic barbarian accidentally Oppenheimered a quarter of the continent.
Sounds
accidentally?
like fun.
Yes. Yes, actually.
I mean, if I ran a campaign where somebody nuked an entire continent, my God, come on. What kind of cheesy bullshit is that? Ugh.
But it was
fun.
Refreshing.
We
to
all
have
had
the
fun.
Other DMs share that pain. You ever find yourself feeling that way or trying to get that across?
That's why we're here.
It's a sacred gift, what you describe. Playfully, yes. You know, in an antagonistic way, no. But there is a special kind of joy in being the forever DM in the player's seat with one of your players DMing and going like, "It's my turn now, bitch." In bursts.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, right? Like, I think...
Not really, but...
I think DMing inculcates you with, like, a lot of good traits in terms of, like, patience, empathy.
Supporting the narrative and player choices.
Yeah, and kind of, like, understanding, like, where your players are...
You're not supporting the narrative. You are the arbiter of everything. You're not supporting, and, I mean... You create the world as it's unfolding, but there are guide rails, you know, there should be at least. This whole thing about the narrative, like, it's just the player decisions. It's all action reaction. Oh, you guys do this? Okay. Calculating in your head. And these people who think like DMing is some I don't know, like it's some lofty or weighty burden. Like to me, DMing is always an honor. You know, every time I get behind there, I'm like, look, these guys, they're all counting on me to help them, you know, interpret this world and have it unfold in front of them. That's a huge responsibility. And it's never one I've taken for granted. And I'm constantly, probably like a lot of you guys, you know, you're always questioning yourself. Am I doing a good job? Some of these people, I think they think a little too much about these things. You're just the arbiter of the world, the arbiter of events. Yes, you populate things, so you do seed certain elements. You know, that's your creativity. You know, you populate it in there. But whether the players follow a thread or ignore it, that's their choice, and you have to respect it.
Coming from and but then there's also times where you're like, if you had to sit in this chair one time and deal with you.
Absolutely.
I feel like you just have a little bit more grace for what you do to me, you know?
And it doesn't even have to be like DM focused. My character in our current campaign in Critical Role, Julian Davinos, is designed to ruin everyone at the table's good time. Brennan's and all the players have been dealing with for
20 months,
12, 13 years.
You are the cancer mate.
There's no better button to this conversation than that. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, Shellback. Yeah, they think they're thinking. All right. I think this is done. It's 5:48. Tell you what.
Tabletop games for a long time, it's gotten so much better than it used to be in a lot of ways.
We'll go back a little. That was
Still
towards the end.
Learning to be better about having open conversations about expectations, about how we enjoy engaging with these games and how best to support each other and be prepared for everyone's good time at that table as opposed to just showing up for mine.
Yeah.
And that's harder, even more so in social spaces where you don't already have pre-established relationships. When you go to, like, you know, the Adventurers League games at a local shop, or you're meeting strangers
Thank you, Gear.
online to
1 year.
you know, play remotely through all these different
Much
great
appreciated.
services that now exist to connect you in ways that we only wish we had when I was younger. It was so hard to find players when I was younger. But, you know, there's a
Just a good one, Dabbler.
that should be more readily engaged and be part of that process.
Still
that
catch it on the
has that
rewind.
Kind of open understanding
Over
of
on Rumble.
expectations across the table. And part of that is for the players to also appreciate the DM and facilitate their joy by not feeding into the antagonism unless they ask for it. And sometimes we like to ask for it.
Sometimes we like to ask for it.
Yeah. And just occasionally, if your DM's been doing it for a while, maybe offer a one-shot. Maybe you running.
Put the link out there, guys, if you want to watch the. If you think you're going to have something to say.
For a bit. And DMs, if you want to try and convince your players to run
watch.
you a one-shot.
Not looking for people to step all over the announcement. You know, we'll intercede when we can. But
you laugh.
Yeah, any of you guys want to, you can jump on in.
Yeah,
Join me.
absolutely. If, like, hey, I know y'all are, like, you're enjoying this is fun. However, the first person to put together like a solid evening one shot that they want to run that I could be a player in, you get to choose from this list of very rare magic items in our current campaign, and it works.
It's better than pizza, I guess.
In most cases, depends on the pizza.
Yeah.
Some places are pretty
Sometimes you could offer a player a pizza.
That's
you know,
true.
a lot
Like
of people say
Hotbox.
that everybody should be required to have a job in like retail or customer service to really know how
Indianapolis is home to one of the worst pizzas around, Hotbox Pizza. It's terrible.
hard it is.
All these people at Gen Con are being forced to eat Hotbox. Oof.
Have the hot take that every player should DM at least once in their lifetime because I think it changes you when you sit at the table. We've both had like kind of the rare honor and distinction of DMing for some pretty notable DMs. I've DM'd for you.
I've DM'd for you.
You've DM'd for me. You know, we've gotten to share the table with so many great storytellers, Brennan, Abria, you know, Kate, Jeremy, Chris, like just so many wonderful people. I've found out
calling Jeremy Crawford a great storyteller. You go too far, woman. You go too far. Come on now. What are we doing here?
recently that the DM,
total name
famously known as
drop.
the DM's pet on Dungeon Masters, Neil Newbin, is actually the DM for his home game, and I wasn't surprised because I feel like we do end up being the DM's pet a lot. Why is that? Why do we do that? Has this also been your experience? Do you like when you DM for me?
Yeah.
I need validation.
Am I your favorite?
Yeah, sure. You're my favorite.
Help me.
It's a very small stage.
There's like a laser just trained on his. How do you think I got him here, ladies and gentlemen?
No, but like, there is something too about running for your fellow DMs, people who have had the experience of crafting games for people, especially over long periods of time. There's like an understanding at that point if you're like, one, you know the work I put into this for you.
Yeah.
And two, you know how to support the story I'm hoping you will enjoy. and also break it in ways that are really funny and unexpected. That I won't be angry at you because I know under it all, you're just expecting me to do it to you next time you run a game for me. So it becomes kind of a one-upsmanship of that, like, oh, I see what
The
you're doing.
Dwarven Grudge Book.
Yep.
I do sort of agree with that. Aaron. Yeah. Take a stab at it. It's statistically, it's probably not going to be for everybody. But even if it's a person who's kind of struggling, I think the group is usually amenable to kind of making it a lot easier on them. It can be difficult at first. It takes practice. Like the whole 10,000 an hour thing. There's something to that. There is something to that, even as far as DMing. I don't know if it's 10,000 hours, but it's probably a couple thousand, before you start to really feel comfortable and you're sort of like, okay, I don't have to prep for 3 hours for this, for every single session. If the players are just in the middle of town and I've seeded the world with a couple of cool, NPCs, a couple of cool rumors, a couple of cool locations. Yeah. Just kind of let her rip, as they say. Yeah, I was actually thinking that in the back of my head, the 10,000 sessions, like Vulture DM, aka Steven. Yeah, I would say after you do it a couple of years, right? I think if you're doing it a couple of years, maybe after the first year, you're more comfortable. And after 2 years, you're pretty certain, you can handle just about anything, but the thing is, you'll still be surprised ever so often. About 3 years, I think, is when you have seen just about everything. I mean, with full knowledge, of course, that, there's always certain surprises, but they get less and less. I'm checking the other screen for the Vision keynote address. Just still says it's starting soon, so we will continue.
He will remember this,
Matt.
like full-on Fallout notification. Yeah, like but that's part of the joy too. Like him DMing at home for his people there. It's just once you have that bug, once you have that experience playing these games, then it becomes who in my personal life hasn't had these experiences that I think would really benefit from the agency, the creative collaboration, and the freedom that comes with playing, D&D and tabletop games together. And so, it becomes this moment of like, okay, well, I'm going to learn to start creating stories. I'm going to learn to DM just so I can invite these few friends over and trick them into a one-shot, and then suddenly they are falling in love with it again, or for the first time, and now we get to play an on-running campaign. It's infectious. What I'm saying is we're all here to celebrate an infectious disease called tabletop games.
Yeah.
And I, for
yuck.
am not treating it. I will let it flare up as often as it needs. That's why you're here, for the content.
That's a bingo, Nick.
Only disease I'm okay with you spreading.
Absolutely.
This is like some Nurgle worship happening.
Well, you mentioned earlier, I don't know.
I mean, you're not creating anything. You're facilitating. You're facilitating the narrative that's going on. The story that's unfolding because of the decisions of the players. I would always be checking myself as a DM when I describe what I do to like a new player, because I think a lot of these narcissists, like this chick, and maybe to some extent even Matt, I tell stories for a living. I get paid to tell stories for a living. I'm world famous. Your players are the ones that are actually telling the story. You're more of the set designer and kind of the stage manager. I wouldn't even want to say director, because that may give people the false impression that you have a little too much power. I think we're getting close enough. I am going to remove that. second here. I'll get ready for the vision keynote. There we go. I'm going to mute that for now as we go through. Yeah, let's see what you guys are saying. Mercer did ruin Fallout 4. Yeah, it's actually something I just thought of. You're just sort of facilitating. Like you're not a director. You're not. It's like you made the sets. That's your main thing. Is I made the sets, and now I'm a stage manager. You know, part writer only that you do seed the world with your NPCs, and your rumors, and your places. I've told this before, but there was always I always kind of view DMing as there was this old episode of the new Twilight Zone. Do you guys remember that from the 80s? Not very many good episodes, but there were a couple of interesting ones. And one was this guy found out that reality is created, like every single second is like built from the ground up and like created. I always remember that episode. It's sort of what you're doing as a DM. You're just kind of creating as you go along. Sometimes it's just pure improvisation. Sometimes it's kind of guided by a little bit of research, you know, but verisimilitude, Nick. Yep. Yeah. And I think your players just kind of want consistency. I think that's all they want. I'm going to put this over here. As possible. Oops. Little hiccup there. You guys still hear me out there? Says I'm still live. Yeah. Yeah, it froze. We back? Okay, good. You have to understand, this second location, I don't have a hardwire line, so I'm going on Wi-Fi. And I'm multi-streaming. So now, to be fair, I have a damn good internet connection coming into the house. You know, I'm like download, upload at like 500 usually. I think when I'm on Wi-Fi, it's more like 250 or 300. In the same respect, as a lot of you already know, you need a wired connection. So I'm actually gonna call. I think I'm gonna call and see if I can't get a wire brought up. This room is on the second floor. Is like a guest bedroom. So I think it's time we get up here. Ideally, I would like to make this into like a studio, a full-time studio room. The basement I love, but I have to put together and tear apart, at least once a week, for the Wednesday show. Because, Mrs. D does her exercises down there. We played, our Friday night game down there. It just sees so much use. And, damn, it's a pain in the eye. It kind of wears on me a little after a while. Yeah, the old 56K modem. Bonk, bonk, bonk. So many of us remember that noise. I like the way you think. gonna show that to Crazy Mouse. Time to get Mouse some construction classes. Yep. Get to work, boys. Get to work. Ooh, the HVAC vents like a nutcase. Yeah, I guess that would work, wouldn't it? I mean, there are vents coming up to this room. See, I don't mind putting little holes. Like, we're probably going to be here for the duration. It's a 2-story, but just want to double check here. All right, these goofballs are already late. They probably think like, make the hoi polloi wait a little bit. Be professional, you losers. Oh, external. Oh, so you used external, yeah. It would really just be one solid, I would get the longest, best Ethernet cable I could. Just run it up through. Actually, maybe I'll just call the electrician who did our generator. I bet he could do it. Pretty easy. They're used to doing that shit. Oh yeah, WotC professionals. Surely you just... Yeah, zero accountability. Oh wait, we got something. We got something.
Woo!
There we go.
Look, I'm going to be completely honest. I have never emceed anything like this before. I just truly love this game, how it's affected my life. So I asked how I could help and be here. And look, here I am, so excited to be here. I think I speak for all of us.
Can we get
when
someone
I say
British?
Dungeons and
Can we get a black
Dragons
guy?
Is a truly amazing game.
Tick 2 boxes
Whether that's
off.
for you
Ding,
in the
ding.
audience, all the people backstage, or all the beautiful people
Who is
watching
this guy?
at home. We thank you for giving us your time and your energy. Now, everyone, I'm going to need you to strap in because this next hour is going to be absolutely epic. Are you ready? No. People, I said, are you ready? Thank you.
So cheesy.
To help kick things off on how we're shaping the future of D&D, please welcome to the stage the head of D&D, Dan Ayub. Woo!
Hello, Gen Con. How we doing tonight?
What's
Right
up, my
on.
niggas? Oop, oh my God,
Hey,
I'm sorry.
welcome everyone. Welcome to D&D's long overdue return to Gen Con. Right?
Love how they thought they didn't
This
need
one is
it.
special to me
Now
for a
they
number
need
of
it.
reasons. It's
Now
a bit
they're
of a
desperate.
milestone for me. I think I took over the franchise like 4 days before the last Gen Con. So it's kind of my 1-year anniversary. So thank you for all coming out to celebrate. And I could not be happier to show y'all what we've been up to for the past year. This year has been a year of intense planning for the D&D team. So I can't wait to go through it with y'all tonight. So hopefully you're all ready to have some fun and see some surprises. Now, so for those of you who don't know me, my name's Dan, and I've been playing D&D since I opened my red box when I was 12 years old. And I just became an instant fan, and I have never stopped playing. I mean, this launched a love of D&D for me that stayed with me, honestly, my whole life. So, as some of you may have heard me say throughout the year, it's been both a dream and a fucking terror at the same time, having this job that means so much to me every day. So, one of my biggest goals coming in was to bring everyone back to the table, right? Get everyone back and remind everyone why D&D has been what it's been for the last
Everyone gets a seat at the
52
table,
years.
except for
And
you
to bring
white
it back,
guys.
That's the theme, right? Bring it back to all of you. Bring it back to our players. Bring it back to the hobby stores where it all began. Bring it back to video games. Bring it back to where it belongs. Top of mind for all of us. So, this is more than a game. This is a cultural powerhouse that has touched every aspect of entertainment. But we
Agreed.
can never
Unprofessional.
forget the soul of Dungeons
In that
and
venue,
Dragons.
unprofessional.
The soul are the players around the table, right? Building adventures together, building memories together. And that's the theme of this whole night tonight. We're going to talk about how we're going to help protect that experience and grow it for the next 50 years or more. So today marks a new tradition for us, an old D&D tradition, Gen Con. This is going to be our big show from now on. And as I said at Gamma, every Gen Con we're going to share our upcoming roadmap with you for the coming year. So we got a lot to get to tonight, so yeah.
They used to be so big, they didn't have
All right,
to
Theo,
do this.
we got a lot to do. You ready?
After all that hype,
There it is. Oh, yeah.
you know, it does look a little sparse on details, Dan.
Yeah, you know, while I'm looking at it, I think you're kind of right. Okay, that's fair, but you know what? Let's check again as we go through. I think that may fill out. Let's talk about the new dawn of D&D. What
So
that
somebody
means is
already fucked up.
Everyone should have a D&D experience.
Which
that's used to them.
DEI hire fucked
Dungeons
this
and
up,
Dragons
Dan?
at 52 years young, and that means that we have the responsibility of
Couldn't
ensuring
put together
that
a
all of our
PowerPoint?
players have experiences that feel authentic to them. And as an old school player myself, this meant a really cool, some might say selfish opportunity for me to bring our history back to the forefront.
They're at Gen Con, Matthew,
You know, I
because they
stand here
can't
tonight,
afford
I acknowledge
not to be
shoulders of
anymore.
giants. And these icons still have
They were
many
for a
stories
while.
left to tell.
They were
And
McDonald's.
I had a few goals coming into this job, and one
Now
of
they
them
gotta
was to
hustle a little
create
bit.
a dedicated line of D&D around these classic creators. And you know, a couple of days into my job, at this very event last year, I sat down with someone was going to be a quick lunch. I think we ended up being together for like 3 hours. And we connected around our memories around Dungeons and Dragons, and we decided in that meeting to make it happen. So let's talk about that. I am so honored to bring up my collaborator and friend.
Oh, here we
to
go.
talk
Here's
about our
Luke.
first new line of the night, D&D Icons.
Here comes Luke.
Please welcome the Chief Creative Officer of D&D Icons, Mr. Joe Manganiello.
Oh, Joe. Okay. All right. We'll see.
Nice, Gen Con!
Wow. Yes.
You got the man bun.
What's an icon? No. An icon could be an emblem.
It's looking a little
It could
thick
be a
around the
symbol
middle.
representing sacred events.
Kind of letting
sacred
himself go
gatherings,
since Sophia
or
dropped him.
person widely admired, having at Gen Con 59, which is short for the Geneva Convention, which was founded in 1968 at the Horticultural Hall in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, by none other than Ernest Gary Gygax. The inaugural event attracted somewhere around 96 Midwest wargamers, which for the time was an absolute coup. Today, the festival welcomes upwards of 70,000 people annually from all over the world, and the plans for next year are going to make it possible to accommodate even more. Now, no one can deny the power and vast influence of those
Gary.
3 rules pamphlets that Gary typed up on a Smith Corona typewriter at 330 Center Street back in 1974. And no one could have predicted that those first 1,000
As
brown
they said in
boxes
Red
that
Dawn,
he
never
named
heard of it.
Dungeons and Dragons would contain an American art form that would inspire generations to get together in groups and tell stories together. And we're all here today,
you guys,
because of him. And I'm here today to ensure his place on the Mount Rushmore of tabletop gaming by building a bridge to his work that was interrupted back in 1985. And for the first time in 40 years, his original fantasy setting will return to Dungeons and Dragons as curated at his request by his son. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to Icons, Luke Gygax and the return of the world of Greyhawk.
This is the big. I thought this was like known. More Brondo. It's what players crave. Thank you, Double D, for all you and the team do. God bless. Thank you for making my week as always.
Hello,
Thank you,
everyone.
Solo SR.
Thank you
Means a lot,
very much
actually.
for
Thank
that
you.
warm welcome and for hyping me
Here's
up, Joe.
Luke.
That was an awesome introduction. This is an incredible moment for me personally to be working on Greyhawk and Dungeons & Dragons, and being part of the icons is amazing. To be able to put the Gygax name on the front of an official Dungeons & Dragons product, again, is something I never dreamed of. Absolutely amazing. And what better could I be working on than Greyhawk through the eyes of my character, Melf. And I know we're calling it a return to Greyhawk, but Greyhawk has never left. And it's going to be amazing
Little
to
reminder
have new
here.
5e Greyhawk material, but Greyhawk has been around for decades. It is the original Dungeons & Dragons setting. Its DNA is throughout the game, whether it's heroes, villains like Vecna, spells like Melf's Minute Meteors or Melf's Acid Arrow. But it's been around, since the 70s, before even the Gazetteer was published. And that's just a testimony to the power of the original Dungeons & Dragons setting.
You've been
And
warned
I'm very excited
by the one
at
guy
what
that
D&D
should
is
be
doing.
involved.
We'll hear more about that from Justice
Robot.
Armin in just a few minutes.
Great Rob
Thank
Kuntz.
you, Luke.
So Greyhawk's coming back. Well, we already knew that.
And there's more.
Okay.
You've all heard the phrase, name a more iconic duo. Well, there isn't a more iconic duo in fantasy for me than the next two people. As a kid, I became obsessed with a series of New York Times best-selling fantasy novels. And I read them so quickly and so voraciously that I turned to shoplifting to feed my habit. Now, when I see these two people out in the wild, I always make sure that I buy them dinner to pay for the royalties that they didn't get. I had a red box on my shelf previously.
They started it,
but I
Ken,
didn't
I guess.
fully understand how to create.
I think most of
and
us were
inhabit a
just
fantasy
content
world
to have things
until I
go
found
as
Dragonlance.
it used to go. But
So my first phone call as the Chief Creative Officer of Icons went to these two in the hopes that maybe they'd come back one more time, back home, to reestablish 40 years of canon and properly relaunch one of the most beloved and impactful fantasy settings of all time, and my absolute favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, no D&D Mount Rushmore would be complete without Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman and the return of Dragonlance.
thought Dragonlance already returned. We got the old slipcase treatment. Where's Margaret?
40 years ago, I was a young man in my 20s, and I was driving across the country, across the Great Plains of the United States, desperate. Every job that I had had up to that point, I had failed at. But I had been offered an opportunity to come to TSR and to write Dungeons & Dragons. My wife and I, as we traveled across the country with our then 2 young children, left the home that we had known, and somewhere in Nebraska started talking about what we could bring to TSR that would justify them paying us actual money to write D&D. We had this world that we had thought of that had warriors riding dragons into battle. I wanted to call it Dragon Back. My wife thought it was a little too soft. And somewhere on those plains, Dragonlance was born. In the 40 years since that took place, we found a new home, a better home. A home that we have shared with all of you, and which you have kept alive through these decades. And now, I am so happy and proud to announce that we are bringing Dragonlance back home to D&D.
Really confused. Really confused. I thought they already did. Just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
We
That
are finding
abomination.
new ways to explore the world, to make it richer, deeper, and more importantly, to bring it into your hands as dungeon masters and gamers. We want this world to be yours. And it is our gift to you. We cannot be here forever. But in giving this gift, this world to you and putting it in your hands to create, we will know that home will always be there for you.
Ooh. Like a lot of people my age, I grew up at a time when Dungeons & Dragons was unjustly vilified and blamed by parents and the religious right for death and destruction and the overall corruption of the youth. There were book burnings.
Had to sneak that
and
in
witch
there,
hunts
the
carried out
religious
by
right.
evangelists, and even a piece by Ed Bradley in 60 Minutes with your dad that unjustified.
Oh, they were part of the
went
religious
after
right,
Gary.
weren't they? 60 Minutes? Oh no, we'll give them a pass.
But we were the generation that was galvanized by this pressure. We knew they were wrong, and it brought us all together. And we're now the generation
Remember, guys?
that's
Member
in control
berries?
of music and entertainment and art. And guess what? We can do what we want.
Just ignore what we've been doing to D&D's corpse the last 10 years.
And we want to play Dungeons and Dragons. You know, there was always something alluring and dangerous about D&D back in those days. It felt scary,
Always
like we
kinda
were all
liked
doing
him, too.
something we shouldn't have been doing.
The Joe
Those
meter
orange
is
spine
falling.
books and box sets were magical tomes and
Shill.
grimoires containing portals to new worlds and spells that could transform our ordinary lives into extraordinary adventures. And that is
maybe.
exactly why I created Death Saves.
Time to shill.
At first, it was a way to harken back to the aesthetic and feel of that era through streetwear, but now it will serve as a vision of doom for the Dungeons & Dragons multiverse, as a playable world shaped by world-shattering events. The Blood War is ended, and darkness prevailed, and the world hangs on by a thread. You and your companions can seize the opportunity to take the battle to the doorstep of the Demon Lords. And that's all I'm going to say about that right now, because we'll be playtesting it tomorrow live for the first time here at Gen Con, so you'll all be able to get a sense of the depths that Death Saves will be taking Dungeons & Dragons into the future. And due to popular demand, yes, I'm relaunching Death Save Streetwear with a special D&D capsule collection centered around the visionary art of Gerald Brom. I mean, if we're back, we're back. Best known, Brom is best known for creating the look and feel of the post-apocalyptic D&D world of Dark Sun. And the first pieces from it will be given out to the first people in line for the live play tomorrow. And then the full drop, I think, will probably land somewhere around New York Comic Con. So just stay tuned for that. And one more thing. As if all of this isn't enough, I brought a secret weapon tonight. No D&D Mount Rushmore would be complete without this person. Look up here. Any guesses?
What fossil? Ed Greenwood? They're going to bring him out?
Responsible for creating the most popular and enduring character in Dungeons & Dragons history.
Yep.
Whose books appeared more than 20 times on the New York Times bestseller list, with over 50 million books in print in a dozen languages, one of the most
Salvatore.
prolific writers and world creators in fantasy history, who took Ed Greenwood's Forgotten Realms and added a basement to it.
Salvatore? R.A.?
Here to tease a special top secret upcoming project with Death Saves and Icons, the one, the only, the father of Dritz de Worden of Derman Neshez Bernan, the ninth house of Menzo Berenzon. You call him R.A., but I call him Bob Salvatore.
They couldn't peel Ed Greenwood out of the red garter.
Hello.
I got to talk? I just got off a plane. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, they said, hey, come on out to Gen Con. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, you'll see. This feels really great to me because, you know, I've been with
A lot of white
TSR
dudes. So many
since
white dudes.
1987. Not as long as Tracy. But it's starting to feel new again a little bit, and that's what Joe's been going for. So I'm happy to be here, and we got some big plans just starting to stir. And do I get to kill a Wookiee? You can kill whatever you want. Okay, as long as I kill Wookiees, I'm happy. You know, this actually brings me back to like my first Gen Con, because I really haven't been around here much lately. And
why?
Back in those days, I still remember the phone call when this whole thing started. And I won the audition to do the second Forgotten Realms book. And then Mary Kirchhoff calls me up, and I had used one of, am I supposed to be reading that? Because I can't even see it. Mary Kirchhoff calls me up, and she tells me I can't use Doug Niles' character because that's in the Moonshae Isles. And she says, you know, we want it in the Forgotten Realms. I'm like, all I know are the Moonshae Isles. There's no book out. There's no anything. So she had me come up with a character off the top of my head because I need a sidekick for Wolfgar. And I said, all right, I'll get back to you next week. I'm at work. I'm working as a financial analyst at the time.
This is Wolfgar
and I said,
calling.
She says, no, you don't understand. I'm going to a meeting, and I need a sidekick for Wolfgar. And I said, all right, listen, I'll take lunch. I won't take lunch at work. I'll come up with something. I'll give you a call this afternoon. And she says, no, you don't understand. I'm standing across the hall. There's no cell phones at this time, by the way. I'm standing across the hall from the room where they're waiting for me.
Talked his way in.
And I have to sell your book to the sales force. This is really important. I need a sidekick for Wolfgar. And I don't know why and I don't know how, but off the top of my head, I said,
we're back.
A drow elf.
They're all
And she
gay,
says,
but we're back.
Drow? I said, yeah.
Baby steps.
Now I start thinking about it. I'm like, this could be fun. And she goes, you want to do a drow? I said, yeah, a drow ranger. That'll be cool. Nobody's ever done that. She says, Bob, there's a reason. And I said, no, it'll be cool. And we're going on and on and
Not
on.
a fan.
Finally,
Never
she's
was,
like,
but
you can't do that.
if
I
you
said, I
like
wanna
it,
do
I'm
that.
good with
And we kept going and going and going. And finally, she just says, all right, we don't have any more time. You can do it. What's his name? I don't know how, and I don't know why, but I said, Dritz the Warden of Damer Neshezbanon, the 9th house of Menzoberranzan. Long pause. And she says, what? What's a Menzoberranzan? I said, I'll come up with something. She says, okay, Dritz the Warden
delicious pasta.
of Damer Neshezbanon, the 9th house of Menzoberranzan. Now I got it, right? She says, can you spell it? I said, no. And that phone call, and here I am, too many years than I want to count later.
Just everything
back at Gen
right.
Con.
Good to
It
see you,
feels
buddy.
like it's all new again. So, thank you.
We had a different word for him back then.
We've all assembled here.
All of us white
in
guys.
the inn, where it all started, to reignite and carry the torch that is D&D's heart and spirit forward into the future. Behold, the first wave of Dungeons & Dragons icons.
So just showing these guys off. I guess maybe Salvatore was a mild surprise, but I kind of thought it was just well known that these other ones were starting to do
like
business
Luke
again.
said, if you're excited about Greyhawk, good news. There's more than one vision of Greyhawk coming. Now, let's welcome D&D's game
Plenty
design
of ways to
director and the
defile
lead
that
for the
corpse.
upcoming Greyhawk adventure book, Justice Ramin Armand.
Oh, here we go.
Make some noise, people!
Sure, he's going to tell us how offended he was by all these white people.
So back at GaryCon 2024, during D&D's Year of the Dragon celebrations, we hosted a tournament adventure for the 5th edition update of S4, The Lost Caverns of Sajkant, originally created by Gary Gygax in 1976. That adventure introduced us to Drelnza, the vampire daughter of Igwilf, the Witch Queen, perhaps better known as Tasha.
Ha! Good.
After that adventure's debut, we're returning to Greyhawk and expanding Drelnza's story, and you can play a part in it.
This is more like
Greyhawk,
it.
Crown
This
of
is
the
more
Witch
like
Queen is a full-length adventure set in the world of Oerth. The adventure surrounds the return and ascent of Drelnza, who seeks to follow in her mother's evil footsteps and become Greyhawk's newest Witch Queen. Between Luke's projects and Crown of the Witch Queen, Greyhawk's fans are going to be well fed. Thank you, everyone, and happy Gen Con.
These people have no charisma. Wait, that can't be it, is it? Ah, great, a gruesome decapitation. I mean, I'm okay with it. A little odd for a public. Dark side. Yeah. Guess they're right.
To help us wrap our heads around that absolute lunacy,
They are
please
going
welcome
to,
D&D executive producer Greg Billsland. Make some noise!
They're going to roll this out. How are we going to tackle the slavery?
Hey everyone, welcome to the blood-soaked world of Dark Sun, one of D&D's most iconic settings.
Put your
And we
hands
are bringing it
together,
back
people.
in a big way, as D&D's first mature-rated setting. So much so that the lawyers told us we had to shrink wrap it and put a label over it. We've taken all of the things that people
Getting
love
good vibes
about
from this little
Dark Sun,
fruitcake
brutal
talking
stories
about
of
it.
survival and resistance in the face of tyranny, and developed art and game mechanics, all to realize the promise of this world. The dying world of Athos is a brutal place where survival is its own act of defiance. Magic defiles the land, psionic monsters prowl the wastes, and tyrannical sorcery power and fear. And I am excited to share with you today some first looks at some art from the books.
It already doesn't look like Dark Sun. I mean,
Here is the flicker of freedom in this dying world. Its sorcerer king Kalik lies dead, but the city's revolution continues. Tyr's flames forge its future and burn any who sympathize with tyrants. In Draj, life, gravity, and reality bend for
not
the
Dark
lunar
Sun.
god king Lifebringer,
That's
who demands
generic
sacrifices
RPG
to
art.
fuel its dark omens and inscrutable ambitions. And in Golg, life and death blend together under the sorcerer king.
Yeah, this is just
Lalali Kui.
dripping Dark
the
Sun
city's
here.
tree towers and
The
corpse
fuck?
plant guardians feed upon the spirits of the willing and, of course, the unwilling. Uruk is a brutalist engine of war driven to conquer by its sorcerer king Hamanu. As the world of Athos burns, Hamanu and the Uruk march to conquer the ashes. And in Rom, every day is the last day. Here, consequence and taboo lie scattered upon the streets, and debauchery can be had for the price of coin or flesh.
It looks so clean.
And in Nibene, scions and scholars alike grasp at secrets from a forgotten past. They join their minds with their sorcerer king.
Nothing
in
gritty,
pursuit
nothing
of
dirty about
alien
this.
glories, seeking to outwit mortality. And last is Balak. It is what comes from a tyrant's reckless pursuit of power. It is a wasteland dominated by bizarre and deadly remnants of mad ambition.
But is that a
Dark Sun is a gritty,
god
mature
or a
setting
giant?
for
It
those
looks
who
okay,
are
but-
willing to step into this world. We have 3 books: Blood and Power, Edge of Oblivion, and a limited edition player's handbook with alternate art for Dark Sun, representing over 400 pages of content, all coming in 2027 in the
Another
season of
slipcase.
survival. If you want to learn more, dungeonsanddragons.com/darksun. Thank you so much, Gen Con.
Get off the stage, you poof.
Greg, thank you so much for joining us. One more time for Greg Billsland, everybody. Thank you. A new dawn
He's
for
gay.
D&D also means a new dawn for D&D Beyond. Please give a warm welcome to a guy that eats, sleeps, breathes Dungeons and Dragons, the executive producer of D&D Beyond, Brian Perry. Make some noise.
I hope so.
9 years ago, D&D Beyond launched with a mission to make D&D easier to play. And then we forgot. We forgot our mission. But I'm back here tonight to talk about how we're going to make D&D easier to play together. Yes, we're adding one word to that mission. So tonight,
They
I wanna
use
talk
that
about
picture.
together.
They use the taco picture.
That magical ingredient that makes D&D and tabletop role-playing games good for us, good for humanity. It's the people around the table. That's what we've been talking about tonight. And getting to play in person, getting to be present, that's the ultimate state. But it feels harder than it's ever been in our lives just to get together, and we all want it. That's what we want to focus on D&D Beyond, together. And we're going to start with connect and play. Let's talk about connect, because that starts right now with the launch of dndbeyond.com/LFG. If you are having a hard time finding people to play D&D with, this is your hub. First, for players looking for local communities, today we are launching a dedicated D&D event finder. And now WPN stores can post local events right on D&D Beyond. And you can find your next local group all right here. This is just the start of what we want to do for local game stores. Now, for players that can't find a local group, we want to make sure your first game is awesome with the best professional dungeon masters. So today we're also announcing a
You
partnership
could overlay
with
that
Start
local group with your
Playing.
local Megan's Law list. Might get a few
And
double
for a
hits.
limited time, players can feel confident they're going to have a great first experience with one of Start Playing's top DMs for just
It sure is, Brian. Thank you. Yes, much easier.
So also for players who use our D&D Discord server, there's also a totally rebuilt, dedicated looking for group section coming soon. All of this and more are available right now on dndbeyond.com/LFG.
Let's fucking go. Is that what that stands for?
All right. I want to talk about play next, because over the next few months, we get to roll out some of the top requested features that will make play with D&D Beyond easier and better, including rebuilding site search, one of our top pain points by far. I know, by far. We also have new DM prep tools like a scene manager, map pins, and bookmarking, and DM tools that don't require you to use maps, so you can run encounters and manage your sessions without having to launch a VTT.
It doesn't. Pretty soon.
Now,
That's coming-
let's talk about
it's coming
during
pretty soon.
play.
They'll
Because
charge you
look,
extra
most
for it,
online tools are optimized for big screens and virtual-only play, but we care about together. And so what we really want to do is help make in-person play better together. So that's exactly what we're focusing on with a brand new app built on top of a brand new D&D game platform.
Everybody will have their phones out at
This
the table. It'll
is
be
the first
wonderful.
look at an early prototype of a new D&D Beyond play experience coming to mobile first and other game platforms after. Here, we started with the idea that the tech at your table should actually reduce your distractions and keep you present. We don't want your phone to copy or replace any part of your tabletop experience, from the books to the minis to the snacks.
You're not producing
What we
physical books
really want to do,
anymore.
actually, is give you all the depth and intricacies of playing D&D so that you can focus on what matters, which is what is happening at the table right then and there. That's also why we spent almost 2 years now working on a new rules engine that truly understands D&D.
Gotta pay $200.
And will be able to support every single rule over time. This is the new D&D Beyond play experience that respects that you are here to hang out. Our plan is to roll out a very early version of this in early 2027, then iterate, improve, and
Or you
add
could.
features
I'm
with
just
your feedback.
spitballing here. Just
Look, we are
get a physical book
super
and some
passionate
dice
about
and a
this
pencil.
cause, and this has been our general philosophy, rolling these things
They-
out.
they all
But
still work.
sometimes we're just going to get things wrong. That's where we really appreciate your feedback, and then we make it better.
Yeah, let's be
So,
on our
I wanna
phones
thank
even
you
more.
all so much for
because
sticking
we
with us
all
on
need
this
to
journey.
do that, don't
we'll have
we?
much more to share on everything I discuss in the next few weeks. Thank you.
Ease up on the masculinity. What was that dude's name?
Make some noise
Craig.
for Brian, everybody!
Brian.
Now, Gen Con,
Not so much sex appeal.
please
next time, Brian.
welcome to the stage your new favorite warlock, Trisha Helfer.
Trisha Helfer. All right, we may have to.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here today. As you may already know, I play Katri, the lead character in the upcoming third-person action-adventure game Warlock, set in the D&D universe. One of the reasons I fell in love with this role is it's such an emotional journey, full of inner tenacity and grit. And of course, that Katri is such a badass. But even a badass needs a little bit of help sometimes. Everyone here knows that what makes a warlock is the pact. It's what gives them their powers and is an integral part of what makes them unique. And that pact is with a patron, a being of real power who grants you the ability to wield magic. Ever since we announced the game, one of the main questions people have asked is, who is Katri's patron? Well, today we're going to answer that. Yes, but to do so, I'm going to need a little help. So please join me in welcoming the fabulous Maggie Robertson.
I always thought so. Ooh, it's Mad Maggie. Mad Maggie Robertson. It would help if you showed your people.
Everyone. Hi.
I'm not
Thank you,
doing that. They're
Trisha.
doing that.
So some of you might recognize
dressed like
me
Annie
as
Hall
Lady
here.
Dimitrescu in Resident Evil Village. Yes.
At least the other one put on a
Good.
dress.
Some others of you might recognize me as Orin the Red in Baldur's Gate 3.
Woo!
Yes, she is a character players love to hate or love to love, depending on what you're into. We don't judge, okay? But for now, I am taking on yet another iconic D&D character, this time a creator of spells, a keeper of magical artifacts, and one of the most cunning creatures you will ever meet. The extremely powerful Archfey, Tasha!
Love that lighting there. Love the purple and blue. Yep.
Why has Tasha decided to be Katri's patron, you ask?
She
Well,
has
we have
trooned
many more
out.
reveals to come, but I can say this for now. Above all else, Tasha respects strength. She recognizes that Katri is someone who is determined to get what she wants at any cost, which Tasha knows can be used to her advantage. So, you best believe I ain't gonna be helping you with squat unless there's something in it for me. Okay?
Look at that lighting. Just how awful
Yeah.
that is. The old
Katri
bisexual
might
lighting.
have her own thoughts on her relationship with Tasha.
Plus, you
but
can't even
we can
tell,
save
like,
that
what-
conversation for later.
It's all
Also,
dark.
that's a cool image and all, but can we get a look at
terrible
Tasha's
image.
face?
Oh, no. We're going to save that surprise for our gameplay reveal, but you won't have to wait too much longer, as we will be revealing gameplay for Warlock in just a few weeks at Gamescom Opening Night Live on August 25th. So, I better see you all there.
I was not the market for
Or
this,
else.
but maybe some of you are.
We can't wait to show you the game and share more about Katri's
And Tasha's.
adventure. Thank you all for having us and enjoy.
If you're a
the rest
grown
of the
man, you
show.
can play a couple of chicks. I wouldn't do it. It's just me.
All right, Dan, we're more than halfway through. Are you finally ready to talk Season of Champions?
Yeah, I am. I know you're excited about this one, so by all means, do the honors.
Best kept secret at Gen Con. Roll that trailer.
this another live play? Oh, it's this. All right.
Cool, right? Gen Con, please help me welcome to the stage Blizzard Entertainment's executive producer of World of Warcraft, Holly Longdale.
I'm just gonna do this to start. Can I hear who's for the Alliance? And Dan?
For the Horde? Told you.
Yeah, I know.
So we're going from the PC to the desktop. Holly, what can fans expect?
A lot, so much adventure, so much imagination, so much fun. When we hear about partnerships,
I got a video of her. I can play right after.
Match. This was just so obvious, especially with WoW, and we've got over 20 years of lore to play with. So we're really excited to be able to share this, especially given D&D are all about playing with friends, and WoW is playing with friends. So we can't wait for all the adventures we're going to have. And
It's friendly, happy, joy, joy.
It's going to be great.
Your hobbies are drink her in. Your
World of
hobbies are being
Warcraft
taken
and
over.
The Season of Champions will offer players everything you need for your D&D sessions in Azeroth.
By people like that.
And we're just getting freaking warmed up, gang. We'll have our gameplay expansion, the map pack, minis, and a DM screen.
Whoa.
I know, right? We can promise you're going to see a lot of familiar faces. Does anyone here know Illidan's catchphrase?
I didn't do it.
That's amazing. All right, yeah. So
It wasn't me.
Lots of favorite locations and everything you need to recreate your main character or roll a new alt or maybe even try something new.
New combinations like a Demon Hunter Tauren?
That's ridiculous. I'm thinking more like Undead Paladin for me. Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, you can do whatever.
There's some
It's
people
your
in-
imagination.
people in this room that can
Don't
definitely
leave
get
once
weird.
this is over. I have a video of this chick.
The book features
Give you a little taste of
16
what you're going
World
to
of
get.
Warcraft species, including 11 that are new to D&D. Rules for playing all 13 WoW classes with 6 new subclasses, 3 updated subclasses, over 40 specializations, 50 new monsters and iconic bosses with stat blocks, and over 25 new magic items, dungeons, mounts, companions, and more.
Yes!
And the best part is it'll be in your hands this November. I even hear that there might be a display with everything we showed here around and some other surprises at the Hasbro booth on the Gen Con floor. So go check that out. Oh, and by the way, you can frickin' pre-order right now. Orders are live this moment.
Woo! You can give us the money
for the Alliance.
4 months ahead of time. You don't get to use that money. Woo. As if they're going to
Holly, thank you so
sell
much
out of
for
this
joining us.
shit.
Gen Con, let's give Holly some love. Thank you.
Lord.
So we talked about ensuring there's a D&D
Your
for
shrew
everyone.
mom
We
or
kept coming
sister is
back to
now
the
in
fact
charge of your
that
hobby.
There's some amazing properties out there that naturally lend themselves to D&D, like this one. It's like an excited kid with all these toys to play with. We started to think about what sorts of other combinations would make the most sense to deliver some incredible D&D experiences, settings, and adventures. Today, we're announcing Dungeons & Dragons Universes Beyond, a hand-picked collection of some of the best collaborations across gaming, entertainment, books, and more. Starting with Dungeons & Dragons World of Warcraft, we're going to aim to bring D&D to fandom from all corners of the world. Universes Beyond connects D&D with other beloved universes to make thrilling settings and adventures in places you've always dreamed about.
Literally like
D&D's
a
for everyone, and
corpo
Universes
slop
Beyond will
pitch.
help reinforce that. You know, I also get really excited about how this can help bring new players to the table by letting them start with universes and characters that they already know. But one thing I do want to make sure everybody hears, this is additive
Exactly,
to the roadmap we
Red
have
Devil.
for our
Yep.
own worlds.
Really breaking new ground there, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Thank you, buddy.
We are expanding what D&D can be, not taking anything away. And we've been staffing up specifically to support this initiative and look forward to what the future holds. And this all starts with our Season of Champions, where players will get to pick up their D20s for the first time and roll for the fate of Azeroth.
Thank you. Make some noise for Dan, people!
So cheesy.
You know what, everyone? As a newer D&D convert, one of the things that's amazed me the most is the creativity of the D&D creators. Whether they're working solo or starting their own companies, the team has got big plans with these incredible folks. And to talk about it,
If you don't have any
please help
creatives, just hire one
welcome
of these
back
black guys as
Greg
your MC.
Billsland,
Then you're covered,
everybody.
I guess. Then you're covered. Oh, this fruit again. Good Lord.
Thanks, Theo. Speaking of roadmap, for our own worlds, we've been thinking a lot about how we better support our dungeon masters with the settings they love. Players shouldn't have to wait decades for us to go back to settings like Dark Sun. And we should be making it easier for everyone to play in the worlds that they love with great adventures. The problem has been we only have so many people on the D&D team, and supporting every one of these settings is a little challenging.
Draw Steel should have done
So
it.
now, today, we are announcing 3 new partnerships in which we're bringing incredible studios on to create official content for D&D. Next year, we're going to return to Ravenloft and the Domains of Dread with an official book from Ghostfire Gaming. Then, in 2028, Visionary Productions is going to deliver us a thrilling Eberron adventure featuring beloved villain, the Lord of Blades. Woo! And we can't
Very
wait for you to
inspirational.
see what's being cooked up by Kobold Press as they go to the Forgotten Realms in 2028. Each book,
yeah.
Each book is
Just
going to be
getting gayer
available
and
both
gayer.
physically and digitally.
Can we expect anything focused on Baldur's Gate? Just asking for a friend.
No, it's
Love the
always
witchy poo
possible,
hat.
Theo. These are the first of many of our partners that we're hoping to bring new settings, bringing you the settings that you love and deserve. Every year, from
Burying
some
the
of the
lead
most
here.
talented creators across the TTRPG
They can't handle it
industry.
anymore.
And we are just getting started.
They don't.
Thank you all.
Make some noise for Greg, folks!
As I've said, they don't have any talent there.
Okay,
This is just an admission.
we
They're starting to farm it
are
out.
Ready to wrap things up, ladies.
Here. Yo, T.
Yo, who's that? What, Deborah?
T.
Yeah? Oh, here we go.
Deborah Wild, your friend and legendary D&D player.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Just,
What's up? What's happening?
In the middle of a live show, and
Right.
you know, you're kind of interrupting my flow state. You know,
Yeah, no, and you are doing so well. Well done, really. But yeah, actually.
For a black
But I
man,
am
you're doing
here to talk
awfully
about
good.
A little something called Dungeon Masters. Don't know if you've heard of it. Yeah.
Oh, Dungeon Masters.
Dungeon Masters, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, oh, by the way, I locked Dan Ayub in the bathroom, so we have like a little bit of time. So let's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, look, okay.
Let's get on with it. The cast of Dungeon Masters, everybody. We have Deborah Wild, Mayana Berin, Jasmine Buller, and Christian Navarro.
There she is. Fatty Lumpkin.
Where's Neil? Neil Newborn?
Who? Did he not make it? Oh, Neil. Oh, right. I forgot to tell you guys. He's actually on a plane right now. But it's fine because we are here to bring him in spirit. Oh.
3 chicks
Best Neil impression
and a
contest.
cabin
go.
boy.
Okay. Careful,
Little monkey boy there.
Careful, I can't. Careful, I sail. England.
He can't even get a word in edgewise.
good.
These
That
shrewing
was good. I like that one. I like that one.
harpies.
Oh wait, but sorry, Theo, I totally derailed us. We got the bit we got to do. Yeah. Hello, Gen Con 2026.
Wow,
Thank you
she
so
is big.
much
That is a pear-shaped gal.
for letting us
Whoa.
invade your stage and for watching our little show. Thank you.
Look, the teleprompter's gone. So, yeah, we have a show. It's on YouTube, Campaign 1, Campaign 2. You can all go watch it. And from all of us and everyone back there, thank you so much for all the love you're showing it.
Yes.
Hold on one second. this isn't on the script,
Oh, wait.
but also,
He gets to
can we
speak.
give it up for Jasmine Mueller, the best DM on the face of
Make
the
some
planet?
noise for Jasmine, people.
Oh, he's trying to get into Jasmine's size 40
Want to keep the love
jeans.
going? We will be performing live on this stage on Saturday night, so we will see you there or live on YouTube with the stream.
Oh, speaking of Saturday, Theo. So we actually have a spot open at the
Remember
table.
that
and,
skit, The Wide
we might have a
Ends, on
spot open
Saturday
for
Night
the next
Live?
two
Reminds me of
campaigns.
that.
Oh, is this what we
So-
did?
Did you bring it?
That's going. That's a deep cut.
Okay,
That's going way back.
What are they going to do?
So, okay, okay. So, Theo.
Like we rehearsed.
Chick in the white dress is not
Okay,
bad.
ready?
I
I'm ready.
will say.
Okay,
What if he says no?
It's okay. Stretch. Theo, would you do us the honor and make us the happiest nerds on earth by playing some D&D with us?
Oh God.
I will.
I was wondering what their question was. I mean, it's implicit.
Two campaigns, Theo.
Even
And
from
you know
Monkey
what?
Boy.
You're going to be so happy you said yes, and you might want to download World of Warcraft because we're going to Azeroth! Woo!
And to finish out the year, we'll be taking some very familiar faces to Icewind Dale. Mysterious.
That's mysterious ice.
It looks so
That's the wind, yeah.
so
I love
terrible.
Lae'zel and all the fur.
The art is so bad.
Hey,
Oh.
hey, that's us.
It's just awful.
Good-looking bunch.
Yeah.
Just so awful.
Oh, guys, I think Dan's unlocked. Oh,
I thought you
got
locked him in.
Oh, shit!
Shit, run! Run!
All right. Always up to mischief. Always up to mischief.
Like a Jerry
think,
Lewis
Gen Con?
telethon here.
Fucking cool, all right? All right, big finish. Let's bring the roadmap back up. I think that was your line. We're celebrating our legacy with the Icons program, returning to Dragonlance and Greyhawk, and doing big things with D&D Beyond.
We are going full Warlock, and Dark Sun is going to blow everyone's minds. And you know what? I still can't believe it, but D&D is going to Azeroth.
We're building partnerships with incredible D&D creators. Gen Con, this is our pledge to you. We heard you. We're showing up. We're showing up for
It
the
is,
game. We're showing up for the
Antonio. It is.
community.
Thank
and
you,
we're
brother.
showing up for all of the people before us who spent countless hours making D&D what it is today. We're so honored, truly, to be the stewards of Dungeons & Dragons and to carry that mantle, ensuring that D&D is what its players deserve. That's what a new dawn of D&D means for us.
Listen, thank you all so much for being here. Without you, none of this matters. It's going to be a wild ride, and we're glad you're all a part of it.
What's up, man?
Please check out all the cool stuff we're doing at the D&D Tower all weekend. Early copies of Arcana Unleashed and Arcana Unleashed.
Don't leave
Deadfall
if you're here.
are
Don't
on
leave. I have a
sale
little
for the Gen Con
video to
faithful.
show
So,
you.
Grab your copies. And, important, keep your eye on the sky. Saturday, 10:30 p.m. for a very special thank you as the D&D team presents a love letter to D&D from Victory Field, just across the way from the convention center.
Okay.
You know, before we say goodnight, I just realized something. I think we forgot to explain what the Season of Rebellion is.
Are we allowed to do that?
Dude, we can do whatever the fuck we want. We're live.
That's how you
Unprofessional. Should we do it?
Oh, is that it? Are we done? That was a weird way to... Oh, okay. 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 Oh, God. They got the license back? It's 2003 all over again. Only that was actually kind of fun.
Kick off Gen Con!
Let's get everybody back out. Come on out, folks.
It's a very confusing tease.
Come on,
there,
make
but
some
what-
noise, make some noise.
I understand
Thank you
waiting
so
to the end,
to our
but
D&D
you-
family on stage, in the audience, watching at home. Thank you all so much for being here.
E-fapping online.
Good night, Gen Con.
What the fuck was that? All right, hold on here. All right, I'm going to remove them. All right, so hold on 1 second. All of you fans. All right. This is the chick from Warcraft. You want to hear what she had to say?
And I just want to bring it to as many people as possible.
Hold on here. We'll restart it.
And I just want to bring it to as many people as possible. And that means, evolving what Warcraft means, what it is, and where it's going. We want it to be approachable. And that's also part of it. Even with Chris Metzen, we talk about, sometimes he's like, man, I wish we hadn't called it Warcraft. It sounds kind of intimidating. And I just want to bring it to.
Yeah. There you go. The World of Warcraft chick, she thinks war is a little too intimidating. What do we think, peeps? Orc lives matter, of course, as always. Just the pig-faced ones. It's always darkest before the new dawn. Wasn't the new dawn like a neo-Nazi party in Greece? They might spice things up a little. Man. So I didn't... Dark Sun. They're going to fuck that up. I wasn't even a Dark Sun player, but, over the years, of course, like everything old from that glorious 90s era, I have a lot of respect for it. And even at the time, how could you not like the Braum art? I mean, World of Hugcraft. Very well put, yes. Thank you, Michael. Crawford. Well, that sucked. Yeah, I think that kind of sums it up, doesn't it? It sounds like they're just giving Warcraft. They said 3 books, right? Isn't that just the slip? They're giving it the slipcase treatment, like they did Planescape, Spelljammer, Dragonlance version 1, I guess. They're going to take another stab at fucking up Dragonlance again, I guess. From a strategic point of view, I don't. All right, so you don't have a lot working for you. I think they tried to cram a lot into this. It was confusing. That thing with the Star Wars at the end, what does that even mean? So do you guys have the license? Do you not have the license? Are you going to have the license? These people can't even handle D&D. How are if they take on Star Wars? What are they going to do? They don't have anybody there that could write that for that. I mean, I guess they do, but given the state of Star Wars, but they can't even fulfill their own like in-house demand for D&D material. They're farming it out to what Ghostfire, someone else, and Cobalt Press. I mean, not that they're going to be any worse or better than Wizards of the Coast. It's all this sort of just baseline slop. But now you're bringing on Star Wars. What the fuck? That was weird. And to just kind of leave it lying, it wasn't like a real good teaser. It was confusing. There was like Darth Vader there, and then just both names next to each other. Are we having a like are we bringing D&D into the Star Wars setting? Are they making a new Star Wars RPG? What is going on? I don't know. Really confusing. I did not like it at all, fellas. Dark Sun and Spelljammer were the ones I ran in the 90s when I was 16. Says Evil for Justice. After seeing what they did to the re-release of Spelljammer, I have no faith. Well, it did give us the Hidozi, the dancing Hidozi, for which we are always thankful, right? You guys know who the dancing Hidozi are? Somehow, yeah, Vecna returned. Somehow, yep. Yeah, as far as the Hidozi, you know, we let's see, do we got it now? Yeah, you know, hey, we got the Hidozi. Oh yeah, Look at them little guys caper about. Best part of the Spelljammer setting wasn't it? Hey, it's their art. I just animated it. Sorry, you guys put it out into the world, you know. What do you want me to do? I'm supposed to see that picture and not put it into AI and make those guys caper about, engage in a little tomfoolery. Yep. Oh, Adino, yeah, I forgot. I almost forgot. Are you guys leaving soon enough? You getting out? Yeah. Dabbler. Yeah, the Saga edition, I think, came after they did a strict die 20 version of Star Wars. Now that I liked basically for one reason. It had the vitality wound point system. You guys, any of you fans of the channel know I'm kind of a fan of the VPWP system because I think you can easily bring that in to basically any version of D&D if you so desire. It's, you know, obviously it would be a house rule, but to me it always kind of helped explain, kind of made combat a little less kind of nebulous. I know a lot of people don't have trouble with that. I don't really have trouble with it, but sometimes I like to be a little more concrete. So yeah, the VPWP. Some people liked it, some people didn't. So I wouldn't blame you if you didn't like it. I kind of liked it though. And I always thought that it was, like I said, something you could easily port over. I think in a lot of ways it kind of assists the players a little bit. Depends on how you handle critical hits. Human Fighter 666. My Dark Sun has Thako. Yours has Rainbow Thrycreen. We are not the same. Let me give you something for that, sir. Very well said. How about we do this?
What's your AC? Because I want to roll to hit that.
There you go. Give you a little taste of Ginny. Little taste of the Ginny. Thank you very much. That was very nice of you. All you guys super chatting, even super chatting throughout the presentation. Much appreciated. Mucho gracias. Yeah, but this, getting back, yeah, Saga Edition is what Wizards of the Coast put out after the Die 20 version. A little more stripped down. Probably was a bigger hit, I think, with the player base, if I'm remembering. Keep in mind, that was right during the prequels, all that. I liked both of them. Yeah, I liked both of them. They were both kind of fun to play. Those were ones I basically just played in when we did Star Wars back then. When I needed a break from Birthright, our friend Captain Stern would run that. I think I ran like a Clone Wars mini, like a 2 or 3 session. It was strict combat. It was just combat, which I thought was kind of fun. So. Star Wars Re-Up, which is still available out there. Is that the is that like a knockoff like West End version? Keep in mind, I also did the Fantasy Flight with the weird dice. Oh yes, Rogan was there. He saw it all. Signed it in his own blood, and he did it with this pen. Thank you, Rogan. Yes, yeah, it was good. That was the infamous campaign where Rogan was a player alongside of me. We did a couple of things to upset. Like Captain Stern he was a DM, but he was not a completely experienced DM, and he made the mistake of putting us in front of the main villain early on, and one thing led to another, and we just assaulted him with like thermal detonators and killed his very early on. I suspect in the story that he had probably planned in his mind a little bit, and yeah, Gorbo the Hutt or whatever it was. I don't know. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong there, Rogan. But yeah, there was slime and innards everywhere. It was not a pretty sight. That's all. That was also the campaign where his face said it all. That's also the one where Rogan coined the term a Coruscant divorce. We're like, what? He's like, yeah, all those ledges up there. You're in Coruscant. You're on like a 2-mile high building, and there's no safety rails, and your wife is just out there cleaning or dusting. Just give her a little nudge. It's called a Coruscant divorce. So we over the years we have spent many a time chuckling about that term. So Rogan, well done, man. You made it all timer there. Amino for 5 makes me happy. I got all of that AD&D and second edition D&D material from my coworker. Yep, I gave so much of this, like my 2E stuff. I gave all of it away. Yeah, gave it all away. But I've managed to recapture. I kept a lot of my basic. I had the magenta set. I lost my expert set, so I had to rebuy that. And then, like, I have my old player's handbook from first edition, but I just bought through the 3 new ones, the 3 reprints. Yeah. Tell it to your group. I'm sure Rogan won't mind if you take credit for it, or just give him credit if you want. But yeah, it's like I said, funny as hell. It's also where I had the legendary Sanjay Fox Jedi character. I wanted to play him a little different, and I promise you, I wasn't trying to be like edgy or anything. I'm just like, Jedis, they're all sort of the same, kind of. I viewed him as sort of like the go help the leper kind of Jedi. So he visited houses of ill repute, brothels, whorehouses. I figured maybe he'd have like somebody there he could, kind of be friendly with, even if it wasn't explicitly stated what they were doing. That's also the campaign where, and I still get shit to this day. You bring up Sanjay. If you're ever amongst my friends, if you see me at a convention and there's a bunch of friends there, just like Crazy Mouse is there, Rogan's there, Gavin Morgan, Captain Stern, Mrs. D. All you have to do is say, tell me about Sanjay Fox. They'll start laughing and they'll be like, don't cough around him. Now look. Here was the situation. I think it was after a battle. Somebody was grievously wounded, and I don't think I could heal him. So I just asked him if he wanted a little help to go to the next the next realm. In other words, I gave him a mercy killing. And at the time I thought like, this will be cool, It just goes to show you the best laid plans of mice and men. The whole table just After it was over, everybody held their tongue, and then everybody just started laughing. Everybody's like, Sanjay, I'm in good health. Please, if I'm ever with Sanjay, remember, I'm not suicidal. I'm like, guys, come on. But he was a good character. All right. And Universal Knight, it was not Sanjay. He was not a Coruscant street shitter. Give me a little more credit. It was 2 words. It was like SAHNJE, I think. Come on, we had to Star Wars it up a little bit. But I do see the I do see the confusion there. His name is Sanjay. Hello? Yeah, our mouse dropped. You're going to do what? I mean, it wasn't like murder. The guy was going to die anyway. I just gave him a clean death. You know, I didn't slaughter him like an animal, like Anakin, I promise you. It was all done with the most tender mercy. And now, what is his legacy? He's a murderous thug. Jeff for 5. So what announcement were we OSR fans supposed to like? I think technically Dark Sun, even though Dark Sun technically is an OSR, but I think a lot of OSR people like Dark Sun. I did not find their stream particularly impressive, nor did I. Thought it was just normie slop. You didn't miss anything. What was Salvatore there? Thank you, Jeff. What was Salvatore there for? I'm kind of confused now. Some of the stuff, it kind of ran together. I'm not sure what R.A. Salvatore was there for. Was he writing another Drizzt book? Dragonlance. I mean, yeah, it's great to have the, Tracy and Margaret on it, but what new ground are you covering? Like, this isn't, you know what they would need to do? They have this system now, 3, and I'm telling you, 3 book slipcases, because some corpo fag told them, this is how you do it. 3 book. People like having these books on their shelf to show off to people. I'm one of those Dungeons and Dragons players. Do you see my fine bookshelf? Look at how nice and neat it is. I have a slipcase. I mean, honestly, what they need is like a book this thick, written mostly by Tracy and Margaret. But in the same respect, like, what are you going to say in it that you haven't already said? You doing like a new age or something? I'm not big in I like the Dragonland setting, don't get me wrong. I read the first novel. I ran the first 4 adventures back. I actually ran them back in the I ran the first one back in the 80s, but I ran all 4 together in the early 90s. They published the first 4 adventures together. I think from what I remember, it was like a green book, and they published all 4 of the original adventures, and they had updated them to 2nd edition, if I'm not mistaken. I might be going crazy there, but I seem to remember that. It was fun too. It was right when I first started DMing again back in the very early 90s. We're talking like 91, 92. But like, yeah, what are you going to do? It's all member berries, boys. It's just all member berries. Remember these guys? They're here. They're going to be dead soon, but they're here. And we can just wring everything we can out of them before they go. More books. That must have been Salvatore. Yeah. I never liked Salvatore, or Drizzt to begin with, but I knew people who did, So me and Gavin Morgan would always kind of joke off to the side. Drizzt is kind of a frag, isn't he? Yeah, so we'd always make private jokes. But over the years, I've kind of softened. Good to see you, Ransom House. Yeah, Saga was good. Yep, Vitality Wound, I'm telling you. I may do that. I'm seriously thinking of doing a video on that too. I'm still haven't forgot about the Shrine of Tomoa-chan. And I may do one on vitality point, wound point, because I think it's such an easy, if you, look, I know some people it would be sacrilege and, you can just ignore it, but I'm just saying, it's, if you ever wanted to put a modern mechanic, and by modern, I mean 23 years old, you could do worse than that. Yep. Joe's there to sell t-shirts. I mean, they got him doing other things. I guarantee you, he's a smart guy. Joe's there to sell Death Saves t-shirts. And other merch. Can't blame him. They're using him, he's using them. That's the way the world works, right? Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. Salvatore was there just to show they had Salvatore there. Yeah, I had heard that Drizzt, it's like his daughter or something now. All your heroes, they're either dead or black. Hope you guys like it. That's Crazy Mouse found out yesterday. He would always, it's not like one of his top 3 movies, probably maybe even not even top 5. Who knows? Maybe even not 10. But he's always talked about the Thomas Crown Affair because he liked the movie, but he loves Rene Russo, and Rene Russo has a very let's just say a juicy role in the Thomas Crown Affair, if you know what I'm saying. And yeah, they're remaking Thomas Crown with Michael B. Jordan. It's got some. They're black facing it, just like everything else. Hey, Trap Pop, how you doing? $1.99. So many books, and nary a crease in the spine. Yep. Yeah, these are all just collectors. The most egregious one that they did was Planescape. Because they managed to drag Tony DiTerlizzi out, and that's the one that they fucked around with the factions, and what they specifically and deliberately made one of the factions in the new Planescape an Antifa faction. Absolutely 100%. There's no mistaken. During the write-up, you could tell, oh, this is Antifa. Now, granted, this is maybe 2023, I'm thinking. Little closer to George Floyd. I don't know if they would be allowed to do that now. I think even the wokies at the top would be like, guys, we can't be this obvious. You got to hide this a little better. They'd still pat him on the back and give him an attaboy for thinking like that and wanting to include it, but they're probably like, guys, we can't do that. Don't you know there's a bunch of chud YouTubers out there who are going to make sweet bank if we do that? We can't have that. Can't have that at all. Mm-hmm. Rogan clocking in, off hours, doing his job. Thank you, buddy. Yes. Look in the description, guys, if you haven't checked it out already. I'm still working on a little, basically it's going to be like a mini adventure. It might be 2, little mini adventure for sale. It's going to be priced for that too. It'll be, I'm guessing, be under $5 or under, it'd be a little, maybe a couple little one-night adventures for you, So if you're a DM, maybe you can, might interest you, but it'll be dual statted. It'll be truly dual statted for Dragonslayer and Shadowdark. So I'm working on that now. Probably gonna get some. We have the Jazz Fest this weekend. Jazz Fest is like a big thing. Mrs. D loves the Jazz Fest. It's just over in a close by park. So I might not get a lot done this weekend. Yeah, I'll probably be here maybe like 10 more minutes, hang out with you guys. Thank you, Surly. Yep. See you guys. Yes, we'll see you Monday for the stream with Greg. I'll hang out a little bit longer here. I'll see with Game of Thrones going bangers. You think that Wizards would bring life back into Birth right now? I'm glad. Please don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I hope they pretend. I hope they pretend it doesn't exist. Why can't Weiss and Hickman write for that setting? Yep, Dragonlance is tainted with that 5e release. Yeah, I suppose you could just pretend it doesn't exist. Steve Kennedy, thank you for the happy poop. EV Mux has to do something. I'm seeing these tagged, in my normal crawl from a social stream, but here it just looks like you're writing happy poop, but that's actually a dono, I think. Yeah, thank you very much, Steve. Oh, I believe we have another one too. That's got to be Shellback. Shellback was a little less scatological. He just gave me a gold coin. Hope you washed your hands first, sir. Thank you very much. It is appreciated. All you guys, thank you so much. Thanks for coming out on short notice. Got all at our peak. It was almost like like normal layer numbers on Wednesdays. So, and I figured you guys, again, why not watch it together? Watch the shit show together. Yeah, but really, they probably wanted to tease the World of Warcraft, and have it be a surprise. It got, unfortunately for them, it got spoilt by somebody at EN World. So couldn't do that. Everything else was just various shades of things we sort of knew were coming or were very heavily rumored. Like Dark Sun had been rumored for a long time. It's still disappointing that they're going to do it and they're going to sully it. But to me, everything else was just standard Wizards of the Coast, just over planning, being way too ambitious, thinking they need to have 10 irons in the fire rather than just, 2 or 3 that they're really going to work hard on. They're just, counting on the 10-second attention span of their audience. But for me, it was that weird little Star Wars tease at the end, because I'm not sure what the F was going on there. Really don't. And I'm just thinking in my mind, like, you're taking on an IP like Star Wars, where you are probably obligated to put out X number of books. This isn't like, all right, we'll get Star Wars and we'll sit on it. Yeah, we'll do a book when we think about it. And I don't think that's how that license works. You have to pay pretty decent money, I think, to get it. And I think they want representation. If you're going to be the license holder, they're going to want you to put out a certain number of stuff, and I just don't see how Wizards of the Coast can do it. You got garbage, got human garbage working there. Yeah, I mean, not just personally, but professionally too. Just no talent. Yeah, that art. That's another thing too. I'm glad you. Hey, RPG Grandma, good to see you, sweetheart. That brought up a good point, Grandma. That artwork was not Dark Sun. A couple pieces were kind of like homage. Now, got to be careful here because, there's the original arts, Dark Sun. Those were masterpieces by Brahm. But so I will allow for the fact that it's probably a little lesser. Because that's, if you think about it, that's what a lot of people took Deathbringer to task for. Oh, the art's not for Zeta. Well, it's a hard ask. But it was these weird like blue and green colors. Like that didn't fit. What are you subverting our expectations for Dark Sun? Nobody asked for that. It's supposed to be a blasted dead world essentially. and you've got pretty blue colors, pretty green colors. I think in one scene there was like wasn't there like water flowing or something? I know there's water on the plant, but like you don't want to present your water. I don't know. To me, it seemed like a real miss. Maybe that's how we should leave here. That's a pretty good one, Dyke Son. All right, I'm gonna go get a beer out with Mrs. D and Daughter D. So yeah, we are going to. It's not good. I'm just seeing if it's raining. Is it okay? We're going to an outdoor venue, so yeah, Watsy's in full panic mode. Okay, yep. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks all you guys for hanging out. Yeah, World of Warcraft. If you didn't see that video I played right after, go back and watch it. She wants the war taken out of World of Warcraft, and that's what they're bringing over to D&D. They gave that chick FaceTime at this thing. Okay, if that's how you want to do it. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. We will talk to you Monday for Greg's launch. Hope you guys are there for him. Look, nobody puts more research and thought, sweat, blood, tears, and money. And by money, I mean like Ken and James art, like beautiful Ken and James art. This is going to be another book you're going to want to own, just like Barrow Maze, Highfell, Archaea, Dewaro Deep. You know, it's the Barrow Maze setting. So hope you guys, saved a little bit of dry powder, for Greg's setting, because it's going to be real good. And if you're in the U.S., Canada might be a little steep, but U.S., you're going to get a nice little discount on the price because he's putting it in Canadian dollars. So hope you guys are there for him. Regardless, though, at least tune in and, listen to two guys just kind of BS about it and talk. I'm sure we'll talk about other things, too, and the state of the industry and all that, as we always do. So, okay. Guys, have a great rest of the night. Thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to you on Monday. All right, guys, take care.